last season from Carlo Ancelotti. He said Seamus Coleman's contract with Everton is forever. He's built into the DNA of the club at this stage. Burnley fans are up in arms on the far side. Chris Wood got in a tussle with Alan and Yerry Mina down by the corner flag. Referee, I think in the end, has given a free kick to Everton, and that's what the Burnley fans weren't very happy about. Tonight's referee, by the way, Andre Mariner, who is yet to show a red card or indeed award a penalty in the Premier League yet this season. He doesn't show many reds actually at all, does Andre Mariner. Anyway, free kick to Everton. Pickford just outside his penalty area, right full-back position, will be the man to take. Half an hour has been reached, still no goals. If Everton were to get 1 point, they would move level with West Ham, who are just above them in the Premier League table with 8 points after the 4 games they've played so far. But Everton hoping this could be a home win tonight, and 3 points would propel them joint top. Coleman takes the throw-in, short to Doucouré. Well charged down by McNeil, though, to win it back for Burnley, and then he hurdles over the challenge of Yerry Mina. Excellent from Dwight McNeil. Barnes across the centre circle for Lowton. And then his ball up towards Chris Wood was very well anticipated by Michael Keane. It had just come short of Wood. Keane had anticipated that. He was moving towards it ahead of the New Zealand striker. Here come Everton down the left-hand side. Damari Gray gets to the edge of the penalty area, pulls it back for Doucouré. Now he's got a wall of defenders in front of him. Gives it to the left wing again. Dinia's cross headed away by Goodmanson, and Everton have got a corner.
That's good play from them. Getting the ball out wide. Dinia, you know how good he is crossing the ball. It's really unlucky. It's cut out. They're just at the near post for a corner. He's really lifting this crowd.
So the corner will be taken left-hand side by Luca Digne. Everton have sent pretty much everyone up. Coleman is the deepest lying defender, and he's midway inside the Burnley half. Digne rolls it short to Damari Gray, just outside the penalty area. Damari Gray onto his right boot. 3 defenders standing in front of him. Gives it back to Alan. Crossfield ball. It's not great from Alan. Godfrey's going to try and keep it alive here. Picks out Michael Keane. Now he lofts it in. This is dangerous. Yerry Mina jumps, but he can't propel it downwards. And it's an easy save for Nick Pope. But at least Everton are making chances now. 0-0.
One thing, it always baffles me that. I mean, you send your back 3 up. You've got some tall players in the team. Put the ball in the box. Dinia's got an unbelievable cross. Make something happen that way. They go short, and then it takes about 3 or 4 passes to then get it in the box.
Clearance by Pope towards Ashley Barnes. He wins the header, but all he can do is put it straight out for a throw-in. It's become a little bit more cagey now. The opening stages of the game, Burnley were creating chances. Everton have come back into it a little bit more now. Rafa Benitez is waving arms and gesticulating down there and trying to get his methods across to the players. Everton, who only earned 22 points at home last season. That was a new club record. Fewest home points ever in a campaign, and that's not just Premier League era, that's of all time. They had never won that few points in an entire season here. They really missed the fans. Pope clears away, right-footed. There's a Burnley player down. It's Ben Mee. Play continuing for the moment. Mee's got his hand in his head, so referee has to blow the whistle and allow the treatment to come on for him. And they are just making sure he's okay. He's lying flat on his back, Ben Mee. And he is talking to the physios. There's a spat breaking out here between Richarlison and Westwood, and a few others have come milling in as well.
I'd like to see that challenge again, because Richarlison's really ran through him there, right, and he's used his shoulder. Look, we're just waiting to try and see a replay, but it did look a little bit naughty. I can see why some of the Burnley players are not happy with it.
Ben Mee has made a very tough stuff. He doesn't go down.
Yeah, that's true.
The VAR is looking. Possible red card for violent conduct. Richarlison could be in trouble here. We haven't got the replay of it yet. Well, the video assistant referee will be looking at it, I'm sure. Richarlison has been called over. And we've got 10 minutes to go to half-time. This could be a significant development in the game. We still haven't seen a replay of it. But Richarlison is hoping that this isn't going to be a red card.
My first thought was it was a little bit naughty. There was no really any need to go in for a challenge like that. He's used his shoulder and really he has caught him. It was late. Looks like he's going to get away with it, but he needs to be careful.
So video assistant referee has looked at it. Happy, no further action is needed. Everton 0, Burnley 0. By the way, 5 Live Breakfast tomorrow. We'll be talking to parents about the news that young teenagers are to be offered the COVID jab. They'll also be talking to Judy Murray discussing the tennis and inspiring young girls to take up the game. That's tomorrow morning, 5 live breakfast here on this network. Blues as play gets back underway. Nick Pope, well outside his penalty area, wearing all green. Sends it forward with plenty of backspin towards the edge of the Everton penalty area. Yerry Mina holds up the ball. He's got Chris Wood climbing all over him, and he clears it away as far as Andros Townsend. Townsend back to Coleman. Coleman skews it, slices it, puts it into the crowd. Everton remain pinned in for now.
Burnley doing well, keeping the pressure up. So they're moving the ball quickly from side to side, and it's affecting Everton. They're kind of slow to get out and put pressure on the wide man, and it's allowing them to put the ball in the box and create opportunities.
Burnley take the throw. Westwood midway inside the Everton half. Back now to the halfway line. Ben Mee has recovered from that knock, but an uncertain touch, and now he's surely found Richarlison there. Referee waves play on. Everton hoping they have an advantage. Andros Townsend down the right hand side sends in a cross which Tarkowski's able to clear away. Everton still on the attack as Coleman sends in the cross. Loughton wins the header. Luca Digne's an awful long way out. He tries to head it from the edge of the penalty area, and it had completely run out of steam by the time it reached Nick Pope, and a comfortable save for him in the end.
It's getting a little bit heated, isn't it? Few challenges, but it's adding to the excitement, and the crowd's really getting a lift from it.
I think Everton have been frustrated. They know they're not playing as well as they can do. Credit to Burnley for not allowing that to happen, of course. Tarkowski, right-footed ball forward towards the edge of the Everton penalty area. Wood jumps in the air, and he's got the better of Keane here. Just outside the box on the right-hand side. Left-footed cross is too high for McNeil. He'll turn and sprint out towards the touchline on the far side to keep the ball in play. Coleman leaning into it, trying to put McNeil off. Support behind from Westwood. Now out to Taylor on the left-hand side. Burnley is zipping the passes around here. They work it back to the halfway line at Ben Mee. And he's got Tarkowski in space on the right-hand side. Richarlison sprints to try and... Oh, well done, Richarlison. Blocks the ball away from Tarkowski. That looked a lost cause, but he didn't give up. He's pumped up now because he's been accused of the bad foul, because he was then probably fouled in the aftermath, but the referee wave play on. And he's got his feathers up, does Richarlison, as the ball goes out for a throw into Burnley.
Yeah, he's definitely charging around now, isn't he? I don't think he was happy about the last tackle on him, so he's been charging around like a bull, but it's working.
Yeah, it's exactly it, charging like a bull. Westwood gives it back to Tarkowski. Burnley are doing okay here. They've had some good chances. Sean Dyche will actually be disappointed his team haven't taken the lead. Brownhill arguably with the best of them, but he blazed it. Well, he didn't blaze it. That was the trouble. It was a weak, tame shot and easily saved by Pickford. Flag raised. Burnley are offside. Free kick to Everton.
I think Sean Dyche will be really happy. Obviously just about going to half time. His team's playing really well, creating opportunities, and Everton are really they're stuck a lot of the time in their own half, so they need to come out and do better.
Plenty of experience in this Burnley team. They have the oldest average age starting 11s in the Premier League this season. Half-time fast approaching now at Goodison. Seamus Coleman in possession, far side of the pitch from us. Everton playing right to left as we look down. He tries to pick out Doucouré. Ben Mee sweeps across, and that goes out for an Everton throw. Townsend to take.
The one thing with Burnley is every man knows their job. They know exactly what they're doing, when to press and when not, and you can see that.
Yeah, there's no tinkering. Great ball. Richarlison, Coleman, and Gray. How did he not score? Flag was raised anyway. It wouldn't have counted, but Everton have pulled off the slickest move of the game so far. Demarai Gray, who's been in the goal since he's joined Everton, just puts it wide of the post. Coleman was offside in the build-up.
I tell you one thing, he'll be very happy that the flag did go up after missing that. It was a great one too, Seamus Coleman. He gets to the byline, great cutback.
Here come Everton again. Townsend in front of Richarlison, down the right wing. Good recovery, Taylor, to block the attempted cross and to put it out to a corner. The game's livening up again now. Corner to Everton.
This is much better from Everton. Look, as I said before, when they move at pace and drive and commit players, they're opening them up. This is how they do it.
What has started this Everton surge was that period with Richarlison, as you described, charging around like a bull, and the rest of the team has said, yeah, come on, let's go, let's get into this Burnley team. And suddenly Everton have been breaking into the opponent's penalty area twice in the space of 2 minutes. They've got a corner. Luca Digne's gone across to take it. Left-footed corner from the right-hand side as Everton come forward. Rain now beginning to fall steadily at Goodison. Burnley have got defenders on both posts. It's played in. Godfrey gets up and wins the header, but he can't direct it anywhere near the target. It is well wide. And it's a goal kick to Nick Pope. It is still Everton 0, Burnley 0. Alan Hutton.
Yeah, I mean, it's just an overhit corner. It's unlucky because it was a good opportunity. They were really building up a head of steam there just before the corner. But obviously the ball in the box just let Digne down there.
So Pope will take the goal kick. Nick Pope, 7 caps for England. Last March he played all 3 games of that international break for Gareth Southgate, but Pickford was able to get back in for the Euros. 2 rivals for the England position up against each other at Goodison Park tonight. Here come Burnley. Westwood tries a first-time cross which hits Alan. And I think his ankle was kind of dangling there as he blocked the ball, so he didn't have it clenched or sort of tense. And he's you know, nothing serious, but he's just sort of hurt his ankle there as he blocked it out for a throw-in, which Burnley have taken. Lowton plays it off the back of Luca Digne, and that will be another throw into Burnley. 10 yards on the corner flag. They attack down the right-hand side. 0-0. Yeah,
it's good pressure from Burnley. They're keeping Everton kind of locked into their own half here. Lowton getting down the right-hand side and putting good balls into the box for Barnes to go and attack.
Here is Gudmundsson, runs into Ben Godfrey. Godfrey was a very astute signing at the start of last season from Norwich City, settled in very well at Everton. Keane heads it away. Townsend looked like he was pushed in the back. Play on, says the referee. Coleman picks it up on the edge of his own penalty area, and they should be able to clear. Richarlison got another little knock there, and he was slow to get back to his feet, but he is okay, and he's jogging to get back into position. Yerry Mina, the Colombian, clears away up towards Damari Gray. Controlled it very well on his upper thigh. Tries to spin away from Tarkowski. Tarkowski sticking to him like glue. Coleman joins it. Tarkowski goes across to him as well. Excellent defending from him, and that goes out for a throw into Everton.
Excellent play there from Damari Gray. Another great touch on the top of his thigh while moving at pace. So yeah, he's played really well. I've been impressed by him.
Yeah, he's done very well. Left Leicester, went to Leverkusen, back in the Premier League now with Everton. As Dwight McNeil shows too much of it to Yerry Mina, and a big hoof. The ball goes out of play. That will give possession back to Burnley.
That is no nonsense defending. That is what that is.
That is the Peter Kay advert, and they're all doing the keepy ups, and he just have it.
Old school,
yes,
have it.
Yes.
Get rid.
Yeah, Yerry Mina, I mean, he's got some great attributes and all the rest of it. He's not your typical former Barcelona player, but he's in this 3-man central defence with Godfrey and Keane tonight for Everton. No Mason Holgate tonight. He is on the bench. Ball back in play. We have got 3 minutes to go until half-time. 0-0 for now. Pope clears it long. Gudmundsson jumps, beaten in the air by Luca Digne. And then he gives it straight back to Gudmundsson. And eventually, a bit scrappy, ball goes out of play for a throw-in to Burnley. Rafa Benitez puts his hands into his jacket pockets. Looks like he's fishing around for a pen or something. Half-time team talk to come. Sean Dyche will still be the happier of the 2 coaches. What you reckon, Alan?
Yeah, I think so at the moment. I mean, I think Rafa Benitez looks a little bit frustrated, if I'm honest. He's gesturing to all his players. He wants them up. He wants them to be more aggressive and get the ball forward to the boys who can make something happen. But yeah, I mean, Sean Dyche at half-time would be very happy with his team's performance so far.
9 years in charge of Burnley, Sean Dyche. And by the way, we are in the 43rd minute now. You'll hear applause in the background. Everton are paying their respect to 2 Everton fans, Lee March and his daughter Sophie, who were tragically killed in the Plymouth shootings last month. Lee was 43 years of age, and that's why now, after 43 minutes of this game, they are applauding for Lee and Sophie at Goodison Park as Burnley continue on the attack. Cross from Taylor from the left-hand side. Well claimed by Pickford, who launches it down the field. Richarlison his only target. Easy pickings for Tarkowski. Nice touch, though, from the Everton fans who were always very good. That sort of thing they tend to market very well. And they remember 2 of their own who were tragically killed last month. 0-0. Half-time almost upon us here at Goodison Park. Seamus Coleman in possession. Gives it up to Allen. Loses his feet. Loses the ball. Dwight McNeil dribbles with a bit of purpose now. Up over the halfway line. Lowton calls from it from right back and receives. Floats in the cross. Headed down by Mina. Important defensive clearance away. Everton look a bit thin at the back for some reason. Here is Gudmundsson on the left wing. Plays in a cross. Wood had gone to the front post. There was no one on the back post, and Everton are able to clear it away. The game is stretching. Damari Gray onto Andros Townsend. Now, can he pick this pass? He can. To Luca Digne on the left-hand side. He's got Richarlison in the middle. Good defending again from Tarkowski. He's been a brick wall in this first half, and Burnley get it away. 0-0.
Brick wall, you're right. Size of a brick wall is tough to get round them, but it was a great counter-attack there from Everton. Digne just couldn't pick out that final cross into the box. It just let him down there. Here
come Everton again. Luca Digne on the left-hand side. Plays it on to Damari Gray. Not a good pass, though. Too close to Lowton. Lowton is going to win a free kick here, as he's done very well. He just stood his ground. He knew Damari Gray was going to come into him, and a little bit of a lack of streetwiseness from Damari Gray there. He's bought the, and he's been able to give the foul to Burnley, which relieves a bit of pressure. Fourth official's about to hold up the board. We will see what's going to be added on for stoppages at the end of the first half, and it is a solitary minute. 1 minute to be added on. Everton 0, Burnley 0. It's been a game that's been threatening to really break into life. It's been competitive, but we still await that bit of magic just to give us the opening goal.
I think that's all we're missing. It is a little bit of magic. There has been some good play within the first 45 minutes, but it does need to pick up a bit for the second half.
Ball played forward by Brownhill, too much on it, and that runs out of play for an Everton goal kick. Everton, who travelled to Aston Villa on Saturday. They have got Queen's Park Rangers away in the League Cup next week, and the next home game here is Norwich at Goodison in the league the following Saturday. For Burnley, they've got 2 home games in a row over the next week or so. They host Arsenal in the Premier League on Saturday, and then Rochdale travel to Turf Moor in the League Cup. That's next Tuesday. Right, there's the minute played very quickly. That is half-time at Goodison. There's no doubt that Burnley had the best of the chances, Brownhill and Chris Wood, but down the other end, Doucouré really stung the gloves of the goalkeeper Nick Pope, and it's all level for now, Alan Hunt.
Yeah, it's actually been a not too bad game, even though we've not got the goal yet. I think Sean Dyche will go in at half-time very happy with his team's performance in the first half. He will be looking for more in the second, but I think it's up to now Everton to actually come out and try and make things happen, because out with the Doucouré effort, they've not really had much to go by.
Everton are missing Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Will we see Salomon Rondon make his Everton debut in the second half? For now, Everton 0, Burnley 0.
And before Connor and Alan are back with the second half, you'll hear from Anthony Joshua here on 5 Live Sport. You'll hear from Emma Raducanu as well. And we'll look ahead to the Champions League week with John Murray, 8:47. Let's get the latest BBC News. Here's Jonathan McKeith.
Listen on BBC Sounds. This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
The UK's 4 chief medical officers have recommended that all 12 to 15-year-olds should be offered a first dose of the Pfizer COVID vaccine. They said it would help reduce disruption to education. The JCVI, the government's vaccine committee, said there wasn't enough benefit to want it on health grounds alone, but they said ministers could take into account other factors. Meanwhile, BBC News has learned that a UK-wide programme of booster vaccinations will be confirmed tomorrow. It will be initially targeted at people aged over 50. The booster dose will be provided by Pfizer and administered 6 months after a second jab. Councils are to receive more than £20,000 of funding for every Afghan refugee they help to rehome. Separate allocations of money will be awarded to help with children's education and English language classes for adults. And more than 70 people have been arrested after climate activists blocked several junctions on the M25. Traffic was severely backed up on sections of the motorway around Heathrow Airport and across Hertfordshire, Kent, Essex and Surrey. The group Insulate Britain want the government to make a meaningful commitment to insulating homes.
Europe's elite club competition.
The Champions League on 5 Live and 5 Live Sports Extra on Tuesday with an early 5:45 kickoff. It's Young Boys versus Manchester United, followed by Chelsea, Zenit St Petersburg from 8. And on Wednesday, Liverpool take on AC Milan in their Group B opening match. Kickoff 8 p.m. The Champions League.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
This is 5 Live Sport with Mark Chapman.
Yeah, we'll talk to John Murray shortly ahead of the Champions League week here on 5 Live Sport. We'll also talk to Russell Fuller in New York. And we'll hear more from Emma Raducanu as well. And at 10 tonight, we've got a Ryder Cup show. Ian Carter will be with us, Paul Waring, the European Tour player. And you'll hear from both Podrick Harrington and Steve Stricker now that both sides, both 12s, are picked for the Ryder Cup, which you will hear in full here on 5 Live and on Sports Extra in a couple of weeks' time. Let's just hear from Anthony Joshua, though. He's a guest on this week's 5 Live boxing pod and says a fight with Tyson Fury is what everyone needs.
I need it. You need it. The boxing world needs it. It's honestly, right? Let me tell you, training camp is hard. To get better is very difficult at boxing. To improve is difficult. So to fight Tyson Fury is a big challenge for myself because I'm going to put that pressure on myself to actually want to get better. But it's what we all need. I need it just for that. Let's see how good I am. Come on, let's go through this training camp again. Let's see how far I can take myself during this period. So yeah, it will be a good challenge for me mentally. Not about him, but because I actually want to do well. When I wake up in the morning early and I'm tired or whatever, my body's battered, but I still go out and do what I do. It's great rewards. And only someone like Fury can give that.
Joshua Usyk commentary on 5 Live next Saturday. So that's the 25th of September. Let's talk to Russell Fuller, who's still in New York after an extraordinary US Open. And Emma Raducanu, Russell, has been all over breakfast television this morning.
She has. She was doing the breakfast rounds, Mark. Good Morning America on ABC on their iconic set in Times Square. She also did the Today Show, this after having an intimate team dinner at the hotel after winning the title on Saturday night. They didn't get their food until around about midnight. It sounds as if she's going to go to the Met Gala tonight. That's the big fundraising event in the world of fashion for the year, and she's been out and about in Manhattan and pointing with great delight to a billboard with her face on, which had been very, very hastily put up. So all in all, I don't think she's missing her parents too much.
I know you mentioned NBC's Today Show, one of the shows that she's done in America this morning. This is what she said to them.
3 weeks ago, I did not think I would last the whole trip. I thought that I'd be home in a week after qualifying, but I mean, I've just been doing my best to take care of every single day individually and to the best of my abilities. And then 3 weeks later, the time's flown and I was holding the trophy at the end. But yeah, it was the best time of my life here.
I was just thinking about you right before you stepped out onto the court. Like, what you must have felt like. Were your nerves out of control or were you calm?
I think before the match, there were a little bit of pre-match nerves in terms of something just didn't feel quite 100% and I couldn't quite put my finger on it. It's just a weird feeling, but I think that's as part of the build-up and everything. But as soon as I got out onto court and was just doing what I've done 100 times before, playing and just focusing on the point and tactics and not trying to get caught up in anything, the occasion, I felt completely normal, and it was a great level match because Layla played incredible tennis and we were literally throwing everything at each other. And yeah, I'm just very proud to have come through some tough moments at the end, especially.
Well, she's an amazing player, too. I have a feeling you guys might meet again on the court. What's your plan now, Emma? I mean, it's finally, I think, the end of tennis season. It's the longest season. You're going to bring your trophy home. I mean, who have you heard from besides, you know, the Queen and Duchess Kate?
Yeah, I mean, I was very, very honoured to have received a note from Her Majesty and the Duchess, so I am, very grateful. I have got some congratulations, but I haven't really checked my phone yet still just trying to really let this moment sink in. And I had a really nice night with my team the night of the final. And yeah, we just discussed and reflected upon an incredible 3 weeks.
And lastly, Emma, what about mom and dad? I know they didn't make the trip, but how proud is your dad?
Yeah, they're definitely proud and happy. I mean, they're my toughest critics and so hard to please. So, yeah, I got them this time, though.
You sure did. You didn't even drop one set the whole time. Yeah. I mean, Emma, you made history. Yeah. First ever to go through qualies and make it all the way to the final. So your name's in the history book. It's etched on that trophy. Are you going to pack it with you? Do you send it FedEx? Does it sit on your lap on the plane home? What do we do with that?
Yeah, that's coming with me right by my side. So, yeah, I can't believe I get to bring it home. And I got to see my name engraved on the wall with the past champions, and I thought that was pretty special to just be on the same board as them.
Emma Raducanu talking to NBC's Today Show. Obviously, she rockets up the world rankings now, Russell, and I just wonder how getting up to the world ranking that she now is, how that actually might just change the next 3 months, 6 months, and what tournament she's in and what she chooses to do and what she doesn't do.
Yeah, big change, Mark. 23 in the world. She will not need to worry about qualifying in future. That will give her access to any tournament anywhere in the world that she wants to play in. It will also mean that she's seeded at the next Grand Slam at the Australian Open in January. We don't yet know where she's going to choose to play for the rest of the year. One obvious option is to go and play in Indian Wells in California, an event which normally is staged in March but has been pushed back to October because of the pandemic. So I think heading there as the US Open champion may be very, very appealing to her indeed.
Do they have a bit of time, her and her camp, to work out that tournament path? Because everything changes for all of them now.
Yes, on where you play next. Technically, she needs a wild card to play in Indian Wells because the entry list was published during the US Open, where she was still ranked 150. I think your laugh tells me that you don't think that's going to be a problem. She's going to be welcome with open arms at the Indian Wells event if she chooses to go there. But yes, you're absolutely right. It's a big change for the whole team, particularly her coach, Andrew Richardson, who was the high-performance tennis coach at Colford School until the end of last year, was only asked to go on this trip after Wimbledon. It's a short-term deal. Can you steer Emma through the next 6 weeks? It became 7 weeks and she wins the US Open title.
We also, as well, mark Daniel Medvedev's remarkable win over Novak Djokovic as well.
And a remarkable celebration as well. The FIFA goal celebration, the dead fish celebration. And I was describing the match point on 5 Live last night, just before midnight, and I was just a bit taken aback because he went down so quickly. It looked as if he'd been shot, but I didn't want to say that on air. He threw himself to the court, and it turns out that it was from FIFA. Dead fish celebration. The one time in my life where I wish a couple of my sons had been in the commentary box describing that, because they would have known exactly what he was doing. But it was a great triumph for him. He's been knocking on the door for a while. He'd been in a couple of Grand Slam finals before. Now he's a Grand Slam champion. And he just had too much energy for Novak Djokovic, who really did hit the wall in the 28th of the 28 Grand Slam matches he needed to win to emulate Rod Laver's 1969 Grand Slam.
And only would they have told you what the celebration was. They'd have told you what buttons to press to be able to perform that celebration, Russ. I would have thought.
Which is what he mentioned in the speech at the end of the match.
The whole package of this, look, everybody over here, and as you are well aware, has focused on what Raducanu has done. But couple that with Djokovic getting so close to his remarkable year, where would you rank the tournament in everything that you've covered?
And so many extraordinary matches as well. It's the best I have covered. Andy Murray's 2013 Wimbledon was amazing, and I thought that would be very, very hard to beat. The Australian Open in 2017 was extraordinary because we had Roger Federer winning after 6 months out and beating Rafa Nadal in 5 sets in the final, Serena Williams winning the women's title while pregnant. But I am pretty sure we will never see such an improbable British Grand Slam victory in my lifetime. So US Open 2021 tops the lot, but I would love somebody somewhere to outdo Emma Raducanu at some point in the next few years.
Russell, thank you very much. And Emma Raducanu's Fairy Tale in New York is available as a pod via the 5 Live Sports Specials feed. One other tennis line, Andy Murray won his first round match at the ATP Challenger event in Rennes this evening. Elsewhere in the draw for the first ever Women's Champions League group stages, last season's finalist Chelsea have been drawn with Wolfsburg, Juventus and Servette. Arsenal are in with the holders Barcelona, Hoffenheim and Kurga. The men's competition is back tomorrow. Group stages get underway. Chelsea begin their campaign at home to Zenit. Manchester United are away at Young Boys in the 5:45 kickoff. Commentary of both games on 5 Live Sport. John Murray and Michael Brown are both in Switzerland. How is Bern this evening, John?
Hi, Mark. Yeah, honestly, it feels like it's another step back towards normality. I was at Elland Road yesterday afternoon when it was absolutely bouncing with Leeds United supporters, and now we're away in Europe at a Champions League tie with, as you can probably hear, Manchester United fans able to travel again to matches in Europe. So, as I say, a little step towards normality, hopefully.
Oh, are you loving this atmosphere, Michael?
Well, not really. I've got to be back to the chappers just in case. We're sat having dinner in the centre, which is very, very nice, but just on cue now the noise comes up. So excuse me, mate, could you just get the dessert menu please for Jules? Cheers, mate, thanks a lot. Yeah, so it's been good actually. The press conference was good from Ollie, that John will explain, but the players getting a touch on the pitch as well. That artificial pitch will be will be a bit of a leveller for Ollie and his players, so they finally got a feel and a good session. But Ollie seemed very, very relaxed.
Now, how was he in the press conference? We don't have time actually to hear any of him now, but how was he?
Yeah, he was very relaxed and talking about how he said, I've now got a spine to my team, in terms of the signings that have been made, including who incidentally, if Cristiano Ronaldo plays here tomorrow night, that'll be his 177th appearance in the Champions League proper, which would equal the record of Iker Casillas. But I thought significantly as well, he quickly added that we're not finished yet. He said we're not the finished article yet, which I thought was quite significant and very Solskjaer, very Manchester United, in that they're still looking to improve what they've already got.
We will. But it doesn't sound like your usual kind of establishment, John. Actually,
does it not?
No, he picked it, chappers. He picked it. We had to go exactly where he wanted to go. This is what he's gone on and picked. And what's funny, chappers, which will be amusing, we've been waiting for 10 minutes now. His pasta's going cold in front of him, and he's not eaten all day. I'm so glad you kept going to the tenors. We could enjoy finishing all our meals, and he's not. Brilliant.
I'll let you get back to your pasta, John, with the serenading Manchester United fans in the background. Thank you to John Murray and Michael Brown.
Very much.
All the build-up from 5:30 tomorrow on 5 Live. The United games at 5:45. Kick-off second half underway. Alan Hutton, Conor McNamara.
Thanks, Mark. As you and I both know, it takes John Murray an hour and a half to eat a bowl of pasta without a 10-minute delay at the start, so that will be absolutely ruined. Thanks very much, Mark. Back underway. No changes in personnel at the start of the second half here at Goodison. No goals in the first half. Chris Wood came close. Brownhill came close. Those are the best chances for Burnley. Doucouré had Everton's best opportunity. Now, who's going to start this second half the better? Reminder of the teams: Pickford, the Everton goalkeeper; Godfrey, Mina and Keane are the back three; Coleman and Digne, the wing backs; Allan and Doucouré in the middle of the midfield; Townsend, Gray and Richarlison are in the attack. There's no Dominic Calvert-Lewin. The Burnley team, it's the usual team: Pope in goal, Lowton, Tarkowski, Meehan, Taylor, Gudmundsson, Westwood, Brownhill and McNeil, and then Barnes and Wood. What do you think, Alan? A game like this, you must have played in many of them over the years. Both teams will feel we can win this.
Yeah, this is a massive opportunity for both sides to get a big 3 points. Obviously for Everton to try and get up the top of the table, and Burnley to get away from that dreaded relegation zone and get a bit of momentum and confidence.
There has not been much in it so far. Coleman, right wing back position for Everton, gets around Dwight McNeil, feeds it up to Andros Townsend, and then Everton retreat again, and that has been a pattern in the game. They get it briefly into the Burnley half, but it's back to Pickford. Maybe a little bit more ambition needed from Everton. Let's see what Townsend can do here. Tries to turn away from Brownhill. Now he's got Digne outside him. Brownhill looks to have fouled him, and he has. Free kick within shooting distance for Everton. Brownhill held on and was dragged along. It was like train carriages there for a while. Townsend wasn't able to shrug him off. Referee gave it a moment to see if advantage will be played, and it'll be interesting to see where the ball is placed for this free kick. It should be where the challenge began, I would guess, unless he feels there was a second altercation that was more. But Everton certainly want this nice and close to the penalty area for the shot.
Yeah, of course it will, but if it's where the foul started, it would be about 60 yards away from goal. I think it was going on for a little bit there, but it was a great drive and run from Andros Townsend. That's what you expect from him, committing defenders, and he bought the foul there. Now it's in an excellent position
This has got Luca Digne written all over it. 2 goals against Burnley in the past. He's only ever scored 5 goals for Everton, 2 of them against tonight's opponents. And he likes a shot from distance. We know that about him. So Burnley have got to erect a wall.
He's got excellent quality, but you'd maybe think it favours a right footer from there, from this side of the pitch.
Yeah, it's the left-hand side as they come forward. Not by much, by the way. It's left of centre. Everyone else walks away. There's no decoy runner. It is going to be Digne. Can he spin this into the top corner? Luca Digne into the wall. Ashley Barnes and Tarkowski, I think, took the main brunt of it. It goes out for a throw-in to Everton on the far side. At Burnley's wall, no one's shirking in there. They just hold firm. Just seen a replay, actually. It was the head of Chris Wood.
That's not a problem with him.
Yeah,
get his face on it.
Everton 0, Burnley 0. Everton attacking the park end of the stadium in this second half. Lowton pinned in a bit by the corner flag, does well to get it away from Damari Gray and then puts it out for an Everton throw. Everton will remain on the attack, left-hand side as they come forward. Early stages of this second half. If you weren't with us in the first half, well, it was 45 minutes really crying out for the goal. Plenty of decent build-up play at both ends, really. Here's Damari Gray. He'd one wild shot from distance in the first half. That was about it. Burnley have not had an away draw in the Premier League yet in 2021. 0-0, all square here for now. Richarlison, who's leading the line in the absence of Calvert-Lewin. Oh, Tarkowski. Now that's been coming. He drills through him. There's been a bit of tete-a-tete between Richarlison and the Burnley defenders today. And when Richarlison put his boot on that to stop it, Tarkowski says, I'm having you here. And he went through him, man-ball the whole lot, and bundled Richarlison into touch. It was very, very hard. Was it fair, Alan?
That was a proper tackle, that was. He was taking everything, ball, man. Richarlison's just trying to be quite smart. Oh, it's a great challenge.
It is.
It's a great challenge.
No, I mean, and jokes aside, you know, you obviously don't want anyone to get hurt or whatever, but if the game of football becomes that's not allowed anymore, it's not going to be as good a game. It has led to a bit of retaliation. Damari Gray is the latest to have been crunched. And there's been a little bit of needle in this game all the way through it. It's become a bit of an arm wrestle. But that was you just know Tarkowski would have loved that satisfying crunch when he walloped into Richarlison there.
Yeah, it's just becoming a little bit spicy, and it just adds to the atmosphere. It's been great to the obviously start of the second half. Wonderful tackle.
You've seen the replay, the dismissive way. He just got up and walked away as well. He didn't take no concern for Richarlison having cleaned him out. Free kick to Everton. Digne to take on the left-hand side. Richarlison close to the header. Good clearance away by Josh Brownhill. He's got it well outside the penalty area. Everton will regain possession, but they're back in their own half with Coleman, who does a lovely little trick. Best step over I've seen from an Everton right back since Tony Hibbert all those days ago. And then a challenge comes in on Townsend, and Rafa Benitez wants a free kick. And the officials say no, and now Sean Dyche is in the ear of the fourth official, and this is a spicier game now.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit more spicier, and it just adds to the atmosphere. I think it's what it needed, both teams to be really up for it. And Burnley, you know they're not going to shirk out of tackles. Sean Dyche would not let his team do that, so they are up for this.
The only thing I will say about this, if this has become a physical challenge now, is I think Burnley will say, great, we've inverted commas dragged you to our level here. You know, absolutely we'll take you on in the physical challenge.
Yeah, exactly.
Do Everton need to be a bit cleverer than that?
I would think so. That's not Everton's game to be that way. Burnley are trying to make it a physical battle, and 9 times out of 10 they will win that challenge, so that's good from their point. But I think Everton, they just need to use their head a little bit, settle down, make some passes and do it quickly.
There has been one yellow card in the second half, and it's for Josh Brownhill. Ben Mee has possession, 10 yards inside his own half, goes long, searching for Ashley Barnes. Godfrey wins it on the edge of his own penalty area, straight to Westwood though. Then Keane clears away for Everton. Doucouré gets in a bit of a tangle, helped out by Allan. Chance of a counter-attack here. Damari Gray stretched as he turned and he couldn't receive possession. Groans from the Everton fans, it breaks down. And look at Sean Dyche down there rolling his arms and saying, come on, get going. Charlie Taylor, fouled by Andros Townsend. Free kick to Burnley, midway inside the Everton half. And the yellow card is coming out again. And this time it's for Andros Townsend. And the boos in the background will tell you what the Everton fans make of that.
Yeah, I mean, look, he did kind of have a little tug at him. Probably a yellow card. It's probably soft compared to some of the tackles and stuff that we've seen. But look, when you do that, you're normally going to get a yellow card.
And Just Townsend, another former teammate of yours, Alan, at Tottenham in the past. I mean, he's got all the talent in the world. He's scored some brilliant goals over the years. It'll be interesting to see how he fares at Everton this season.
Yeah, he's been excellent. And the thing that he does give you is 110%.
Dwight McNeil sends in the free kick. Doesn't quite sit up for Gudmundsson, but he's managed to turn and back into the danger zone. And Burnley have got the lead, and it's Ben Mee again. The Burnley captain, 8 minutes exactly into the second half, gives Sean Dyche's team the lead. They won here at Goodison Park on their last visit in March. The warning signs had been ringing in the Everton ears, but they haven't been able to heed them. And Ben Mee gets his first goal of this season. Inevitably, it did come from a set piece. Credit to Gudmundsson for swinging it back in there. We're seeing the replay. There's no offside. It's another Ben Mee corner. It's his 7th ever Premier League goal. 6 of them have been headers.
Burnley have done absolutely brilliant to keep that alive, obviously, from the free kick. Gudmundsson out wide. What a beautiful ball, and it's just dying for somebody to get on the end of it. And you know, Mee is going to run through brick wall to try and get on the end of it, and he surely does. He kind of gets away from, I think, is it Mina? I think it is, and it's a fantastic header. It was a bullet. It was never going to be saved. Great finish, and this is what that game needed.
Ben Mee scored against Sheffield United in December. He scored against Aston Villa in January. That game actually in January was the last time Burnley won a home match. Are they going to win away from home here at Goodison Park? Ben Mee's header. And Sean Dyche will feel his team deserved it. They had long spells on top of the first half. Here come Everton. Coleman into the penalty area. Ben Mee hurts himself in making the challenge, but he does get the ball out for a corner. He'll be okay. He's just received a blow in a painful spot. He'll get up and he'll wince, but he'll be all right.
Ben Mee is fantastic, isn't it? One end, he's thrown his head onto a ball there. He's firing his body in the way, making blocks. Excellent defending.
Right, this is a test for Everton now. They've not been at the races so far. Damari Gray tries to cross from the right-hand side. Everton fan in front of us gets up and waves his hand dismissively, disgusted at that attempt from Damari Gray. Sean Dyche has got the jacket off. He's in the white shirt sleeves now. He's clapping furiously. He knows the winner's on the cards here for Burnley. Coleman plays it into the penalty area. Godfrey is forward, wins the header, but can't pick out a teammate, and it runs through to Nick Pope, who's able to pick the ball up. Everton 0, Burnley 1.
It's the one thing, Burnley deserved this. I thought they'd been excellent. They were good in the first half. They've started the second half really well. They're putting balls into the box. They're moving the ball quickly and making things happen.
Here they come again. Wood takes it down on his chest. Yerry Mina strands, tall and strong, and holds up Chris Wood, who's still got possession, who's been shepherded out of the penalty area on the right-hand side. Luca Digne will win the ball back briefly for Everton. He's tackled by Lowton, and it will be an Everton throw. The game being played at a very fast pace now. There was that little arm wrestle period where we were describing how the tackles were crunching in. Burnley turned it into an arm wrestle, and they're delighted, and they've got the lead now, and I'm not quite sure how Everton turned this around.
Yeah, I mean, they've definitely roughened a few feathers in this second half. They're putting in some strong tackles, but fair ones, but they're on the front foot and they're being aggressive, and they're upsetting Everton. They don't really know how to handle it at this moment in time.
Tarkovsky's winning headers for fun. Burnley fans are bouncing up and down on the far side. They're very much enjoying this. They are hoping this is about to come their first win in the Premier League of this season. Burnley, who did score very early on the opening day against Brighton, but still lost the match 2-1, so Sean Dyche won't be counting any chickens just yet. However, a lead is a lead. Ben Mee's header, Everton 0, Burnley 1. Michael Keane in possession, deepest lying Everton defender. Ben Godfrey to his left-hand side, short to Digne. High press again from Burnley. No easy route out of their own half for Everton. Keane will go long. Taylor's going to run across here and wins the header for Burnley. This is comfortable for Sean Dyche's defence at the moment, but that's when things can be most dangerous, is when you think you're comfortable. Damari Gray lays it off to Townsend, and Taylor's in again to win it. Nothing fancy, puts it out for a throw.
I'll tell you one thing, it's incredible how hard working this Burnley side are. You see Sean Dyche screaming at his players to get back, and they listen, they run back as quickly back as they do going forward. It's great to see.
Throw in for Everton. Still plenty of time here. They've got 33 minutes on the big stadium clock to play, but they trail by 1-0. Coleman back to Yerry Mina on the halfway line. Chris Wood being urged by Dyche to keep that pressure on, and he does force a mistake. Mina's passing stats won't be great tonight. He's given it away on numerous occasions. Loughton up to the halfway line, right full-back position for Burnley, and then realises nothing ahead of him, so he stops and turns, gives it back to Tarkowski, and then Dwight McNeil wins a header on the halfway line, and Mina diving header, that's better from the Colombian, heads it away, comes straight back to him. Wood, ball bounces right on the chalk of the touchline, and it's gone out for an Everton throw inside their own half. Rafa Benitez turns from his position standing on the edge of the technical area and goes and sits down in the Goodison dugout. He's about to make a change. Andre Gomes has been summoned from the substitutes who've been warming up, and the Portuguese player, the former Barcelona man, looks like he is about to enter the fray. Chris Wood flicks on a header. Looking for Ashley Barnes.
There's one thing I was sitting here wondering when obviously Benitez was going to make a change, because I think it's crying out for one at the moment. It's kind of went a little bit stale. They're not really playing the way we know they can, so I was thinking obviously they've got a good bench, they've got good quality there, so it looks like he is going to make that change.
Burnley lead by 1-0. Yerry Mina in possession. Burnley, who only scored 19 away goals in the Premier League in all of last season. Well, they've got an away goal tonight that could make life difficult for Everton. Here's Doucouré. Quiet second half from him so far. Gets it back from Luca Digne. Left-hand side of the midfield as Everton come forward. Back out to the Frenchman again. Here's Digne's cross. Cut out its source, though, as the Burnley defence tend to do so often. Gudmundsson's deflection means corner for Everton.
Yeah, they're just starting to pile on a little bit of pressure of their own. I think this is what's needed. Get the ball out wide and really test this back four of Burnley, because up until now, they're out with the one good effort from Doucouré. They've not really had much to write home about.
Corner to Everton. Digne to take. We have almost reached the hour mark. It's rolled short to Damari Gray. He places in a shot. A few groans, I think, from Everton fans who just wanted it played into the box there. None of this short corner stuff. Coleman to the near touchline. Townsend, 15 yards from the byline. Ben Mee in front of him. Back onto the left boot. Great delivery, great goal. Header from Michael Keane. Everton are back in it, and the lead lasted 7 minutes. Header from a central defender, Ben Mee at one end. Header from a central defender at the other. Michael Keane, against his old club, makes it Everton 1, Burnley 1.
It's a great cross from Andros Townsend. He does really well. He feints as if he's going to go down the line and then checks back onto his left. Lovely in-swinging header, and then Keane makes a fantastic run right across towards the front post. Great header, good goal. This is what Everton needed. They needed a lift, and this surely will give them it now.
Well, both goals so similar, really. Quality deliveries from the right wing on each occasion. That was lovely from Townsend. And Michael Keane, who Everton paid Burnley £25 million to sign him. Sean Dyche had taken Keane from Manchester United back in the day. He scores against his old club. And here comes the change. Andre Gomes, midfielder, comes on in place of Ben Godfrey, defender. Change of formation. Everton go to a flat back four.
I think this is better. I much prefer watching Everton when they play with four at the back. When you go three, the tendency is your wing backs to sit in very deep, and they were, for large parts of that game, playing with five at the back, and it wasn't helping them get forward at all.
Well, we said it was a game that needed a goal. We've had 2 goals, and it should be all the more entertaining for it now. Digne, closed down by Gudmundsson. He's growing into the game a lot. His presence has become more and more visible. Allan, the deepest lying Everton player here, plays it up towards Richarlison. Too high for him. Ben Mee playing a sweeper roll in behind. He'll pick it up and roll it back to the goalkeeper. Goodison crowd cheering as Richarlison here sprints. He began that inside his own half, sprinted in on Pope to try and put a bit of pressure on him. That's what Everton want to see more of. The clearance, though, well controlled by Chris Wood. Dwight McNeil will pick up possession. Trails his way out to the left wing in front of Taylor. Taylor challenged by Coleman. Referee says goal kick. Fair challenge. I think Taylor's every right to show a look to the referee and feel he was being fouled by Coleman, but Coleman is a wily, experienced player. He knew exactly what he was doing there. He just about stayed on the right-hand side of the law.
Yeah, he done well, Coleman there. He just eases him out of play. He just has a that kind of know-how, just to give him a little nudge in the back, just ease him out the park, and he eventually runs out of space. Good defending there.
Ben Mee and Michael Keane, the goal scorers. Everton 1, Burnley 1. Pickford's clearance high down the centre of the pitch. Ben Mee holding on to Richarlison, clears the ball away. Then Dwight McNeil's clearance into Coleman. Sean Dyche claps again. Throw in to Burnley. It's all positivity from Sean Dyche. He's giving players thumbs up. He's saying well done. He's giving almost like pats on the back, you know, from a distance as he waves his hand there. He will be disappointed, of course, to have conceded that equaliser, but he knows his team have every chance to go and get another the way they've been playing.
He's very aggressive, isn't he? It's funny watching him there. He's actually shouting over Rafa Benitez. He's right out in front of him, just shouting over the top of him is good.
Shouting in that graveliest voice in football that he has, of course, Sean Dyche. Too much shouting over the years, I think, has led to that. Chris Wood's physicality wins a throw-in for Burnley, attacking position down the left, and body language of the Burnley players suggests they know this is going to go long into the penalty area. Charlie Taylor takes his time as he walks to get the ball. Some Everton fans give him the bird. They want him to hurry up. Here it comes. Throw-in, level with the edge of the Everton penalty area. He's back to Dwight McNeil. And now Brownhill, the deepest lying of the Burnley midfielders, has got Tarkowski on his right shoulder. Andre Gomes tries to close things down and forces Tarkowski to play a bit of an aimless pass, actually. He's hardly put a foot wrong, but that wasn't a good pass from Tarkowski. Ball comes straight back to him here, and Burnley regain possession once again. 64 minutes on the clock, 1-1. Mistake by Ben Mee. Pounced upon by Townsend. Here is Doucouré. Low ball into Richarlison. Challenged by Tarkowski. Good challenge. Referee was very close to it. Needed to be careful inside the penalty area. Westwood plays one over the top for Barnes to chase after. Keane has got a big head start on him and comfortably gets there first. 1-1. Alan Hutton.
It's definitely opening up now, isn't it? Especially since that second goals went in. Things have opened. It's become a little bit of a basketball game. Both sides giving the ball away. Some sloppy mistakes. But it's good for us.
Yeah, enjoyable game, and it definitely feels there are more goals. Here is Townsend. He's grown into the match. Cuts in on his left boot, steadies himself, and scores a beauty! Oh, wow, that's good from Andros Townsend. He pulled the trigger. He hit it to the top corner. And I don't think there's any goalkeeper in the world was going to save that. Andros Townsend, his first Premier League goal in an Everton shirt, and he'll do well to score a better one than that. Everton 2, Burnley 1. Excellent goal.
What a fantastic strike from Andros Townsend. He will hopefully have this on record and watch it back later. It's great. He just drives with the ball. He's opened the pitch out onto his left foot, and what a stunning strike. You could have two goalkeepers in the net and still wouldn't have saved that. To beat somebody of Pope's quality with that strike just shows you how good a goal it actually was. Fantastic goal from Andros Townsend.
Wow, from 1-0 down, Everton lead 2-1 at Goodison Park. A game that has electrified in the second half, and there was a swagger about that. There was a confidence. He had delivered a brilliant cross to set up the Michael Keane goal, and when Townsend collected that, you could see he's thinking, I fancy this, you know, and despite the distance, he could not have hit it sweeter. Burnley trying to come on the attack down the other end. Have they got an equaliser in them? Doucouré for Everton will bring it up to the halfway line and play a great ball for Damari Gray. He's in, one-on-one, it's 3-1! 2 goals in 2 minutes, and like that, Everton have probably stolen the game. 3-1.
What a fantastic 5 minutes, honestly, from Everton. The roof has actually come off this place. It's a great through ball. Damari Gray's on to it in a flash. The holes opened up everywhere the last 5-10 minutes. He's really composed on the ball. He settles himself down. He waits for Pope to commit himself, and then he just slides the ball past him to his right-hand side. It's a fantastic finish. This game has turned on its head in the last 5 minutes.
Well, there's a lot of written journalists around us in the press box, and I feel a few critical articles may have been written about Everton's performance tonight, and that the delete button is being used furiously now, because talk about game changers. Keane's header Townsend's wonder strike. Damari Gray carving through this Burnley defence that we've been praising all night, how well drilled and organised they are. They just parted like hot knife through butter there. And Damari Gray has now scored in 3 Premier League games in a row. £1.7 million. Bargain.
Oh, absolute bargain. Fantastic finish. And I tell you what, the pass from Decore, he's got his head up, he's looking, he's scanning the pitch. It's a wonderful through ball. And Damari Gray is so calm, cool, collected, takes his time. I mean, look at the confidence now. Yeah. Flicks and tricks.
Little back heel from Damari Gray. Decore, who had won a tackle before he released that pass. I mean, he's absolutely grown into the match. And here he is again. Everton looking to turn the screw now. We've still a quarter of the game to go. Andre Gomes on the edge of the penalty area. Bounced it and suit him. Lays it off to Coleman. No, and again, he did it again! What about this? Decore! But the flag is raised. Everton fans are in dreamland here. Yeah. Where's this been?
That was unbelievable. And I tell you what, it all came from the formation change. They're not now sitting in their own box defending as a 5. Gomez has come on. He's calm on the ball. He's making things happen. He's moving the ball quickly, and things are happening. He can see the space, and he's exploiting it.
Goal disallowed for Abdoulaye Decore, but he just shows a toothy grin. He smiles it off because he knows his team are playing so well now. I don't think Rafa's going to go back to the 5 at the back anytime soon. I mean, as you say, what a change in fortune for Everton with a switch to the back 4.
No, that 5 at the back should be shelved, not to be used again after I've just seen this and witnessed this performance in the last 15 minutes since he changed formation. It's been outstanding, and this formation suits them to a T.
Everton fans absolutely enjoying this now, on their feet around Goodison Park. Keane scored 60 minutes, Townsend scored 65, Gray scored 66, Decore had a goal disallowed 69. It could have been 4 goals in 9 minutes.
Unbelievable.
It's
absolutely unbelievable.
And this is a game that was crying out for any goal.
Yeah. We were hoping at half-time, weren't we, for a goal? Just anything, just something. And then there you go. The last 10-15 minutes has been unbelievable.
The Townsend goal that pick off them, though. You might remember a few years back he was nominated for the FIFA Puskas Award, the award for the best goal on the planet in world football, and that was a volley against Manchester City. I mean, I don't think this will be nominated for the Puskas or anything like that, but it was just such a sweet strike. Cracking goal from Townsend. That put them 2-1 up, and Everton have just gone into overdrive. Burnley, frankly, don't know what's hit them here. They don't know what they've done wrong. They've been playing well in the game, but suddenly the tide has completely turned against them. This is Richarlison. Remember, Burnley had the 1-0 lead in this game. Ben Mee's header not that long ago, but Everton have turned it around and now lead 3-1. Coleman on the halfway line, spins and clears it away up towards Richarlison. Everton are winning all the 50-50s now. Decore, though, with a stray pass away. McNeil picks it up for Burnley. Back to Taylor. His chip is well kept in against a very tight corner of the touchline, right on top of him there by Barnes. This is good close touch control by Burnley, and Coleman makes a tackle to put the ball out. Sean Dyche is keeping the heads up, thumbs up, claps. Still feels there might be some momentum that can be regenerated by his team.
Sean Dyche will be wondering what's just happened over the last 15 minutes. I mean, their game plan was working perfectly. They were actually making the game into a fight also.
Ball played long forward by Burnley, looking for Wood, but too long and straight through to Pickford. He rolls it out low to Allan. That change, Gomes coming on for Godfrey, and Everton are a new team. Gray wins it up against the edge of the Burnley penalty area. Dean tried to flick it beyond Lowton, but played it up into his chest, so Burnley will clear away. Decore here takes it down inside the centre circle. Plays it out to Coleman, right fullback. Over the halfway line to Andros Townsend. What a second half Townsend has had. Decore, back to Coleman again in the white boots. Everton dominating the possession now. Neat, triangular passing. Burnley are trying to keep up this hard, high work rate that they do, but that's all well and good at 0-0 or 1-0 up. But when you find yourself 3-1 down, it's demoralising, and it's hard to keep that tough running going. Dean gets onto a pass on the left wing for Everton. He's got an easy ball in field to Andre Gomes, just outside the Burnley penalty area. Damari Gray back to Andre Gomes 2-3 times between the pair of them. Now Andre Gomes gives it back to the halfway line again to Michael Keane. It's been at least 3 or 4 minutes since Everton have had the ball in the back of the net, and by their standards it's a real turn-up. Here he goes, Townsend again, hits it again, what a shot, what a save. Nick Pope, it was heading for the top corner and he got both hands on it to push it away. Coleman's cross from the right-hand side. Everton transformed and playing some really good football here at Goodison.
Honestly, it's like night and day. It's a whole different team that's come out the second half since the formation change. They've been fantastic.
Luca Digne onto Damari Gray, into Doucouré. Someone's got to make a tackle here. Andre Gomes! How did he miss? 7 yards out, he's put it wide. Really, Everton could be 5 or 6-1 up now. They are just creating chances time and time again. And Andre Gomes, just a little bit of composure is all that was needed there. But Burnley got to do better in defence.
Yeah, Doucouré does excellent there. Little give and go with Gomes. It just has to wrap his foot round it a little bit more. It's an excellent effort. I think actually the offside flag went up if I think it did anyway. So it would have been offside. But look, I think since the change in formation, they've been absolutely excellent, well worth this. And look, Burnley don't know what's hit them at the moment.
No, they're really
a deer in the headlights.
You know, they had been doing so well in the game. When they went 1-0 up, we both said they deserved to be 1-0 up. And that was only about 15 minutes ago. Here's Wood into the penalty area. Brownhill on the turn, has scooped it, nearly dipped in. It was a cross-come shot that went over the goalkeeper and agonisingly for Burnley bounced away from the net. And it has gone out for a corner off a defender. Corner to Burnley on the right-hand side. It is 3-1 Everton. If Burnley could get one back, we could be in for a classic of a finish tonight at Goodison Park on 5 Live.
Yeah, we could be in for a cracker if that happens. I think Pickford was a little bit nervous there. He was scrambling towards his back post as it looked up and over his head, but just went the other side of the post, thankfully for Everton.
16 minutes to play. 5 Live and BBC Sounds tonight. The Premier League under the floodlights at Goodison Park. The corner is played in. Tarkowski gets ahead to it, but he can't propel it towards goal. Gudmundsson collects. Sent back in with interest. Pickford decided to come and was challenged in the air, and the ball bounces into the net. And Burnley feel they've scored, but it's going to be disallowed again. Flag on the far side. Referee's assistant disallowing the goal just as Burnley thought they had got it back to 3-2. Sean Dyche is going to go for it. He's going to bring on 2 attacking players here, but so close to another goal, Alan.
Yeah, it was so close. It was a good ball into the box. Pickford, I think he's just made the wrong decision. He's just rushed out his goal and he's been met just by a brick wall basically, and he kind of falls over. The ball goes in the back net, but look, it's offside. Doesn't count anyway. Kind of spared his blushes there a little bit, but
it did.
Real unlucky.
Pickford, it was one of those, he just decided he was coming, and I think if he had given it another fraction of a second, he'd have said, no, I'm going to stay. And Burnley thought they'd scored. Right, Lennon and Vidra are the 2 who are about to come on. Aaron Lennon will come on against his old club. Played 77 appearances, 9 goals for Everton in the past for Aaron Lennon. And the other change, Mati Vidra, who's had a good week. I saw this game actually. He's got a last-minute equaliser for the Czech Republic against Ukraine last week. They were about to lose the game at home, and he popped up with a good late equaliser. So Vidra will come on in place of Ashley Barnes, and Lennon is on for Gudmundsson. Fresh legs for Burnley. They're going to need them.
Yes. Attacking substitution, they need to go for it now. They need to try and create opportunities. Aaron Lennon, we know what he's going to give. He's got pace down that right hand side, he's got a trick, he can get balls in the box, and that's what Burnley need at the moment.
Yeah, back at Burnley again, Aaron Lennon. He played in Turkey last season. He was at Kayserispor, made 36 league appearances for them, but back in English football once again. He's got a very Turkish looking beard now actually, which he's displaying proudly down there. He looks like a man who's been abroad.
Yeah, it's a very
people come back with a funny tattoo or a funny hairdo. He's just got that look about him. I've been on foreign shores.
He's rocking his beard well.
Which none of us have been, of course, in recent times, which is why it stands out. Right, the change has been made. We've already had Keane score against his old club. Could Lennon score against his old club tonight? There are 14 minutes remaining. Long way to go still. Michael Keane onto Allan just inside the Burnley half. His left-footed ball is headed away by Tarkowski in the edge of the Burnley penalty area. Gomes gets it down on the deck, and now Yerry Mina had it. Everton had a purple patch of a 10-minute spell where they could do no wrong. Can they just press on that accelerator once again. Ben Mee comes in forcefully over the top of Andre Gomes and heads it out for an Everton throw. Everton 3, Burnley 1.
Yeah, it's been excellent play from Everton in this second half. Really good, moving the ball a lot sharper than they did the first half. I know we mentioned about the formation change, but everything just seems that little bit quicker in the second half, and Burnley are struggling to deal with it.
So it will be a throw into Burnley. Taylor to take. Can they build up some momentum once again? A game that for long periods Burnley were doing very well in. They had the lead. Wood with a flicked on header. Vidra, first touch for him since coming on, tackled immediately by Michael Keane. Doucouré takes it down. Back to Coleman. Stretching, clears it off the face of Dwight McNeil out for an Everton throw.
I think that's a difficult thing from a Burnley point of view. When you're down the bottom and you're struggling for the wins, and you've played that well tonight, you're in the lead and you end up down 3-1. It can be devastating for your confidence moving forward. That's the only thing I fear for them.
Champions League football tomorrow on 5 Live. We have a double header for you. Young Boys against Manchester United is a 5:45 kickoff, and then we'll bring you Chelsea against Zenit St. Petersburg from 8 o'clock. On Wednesday, it's Liverpool against AC Milan. Here's Andre Gomes. They're all trying long-range shots now for Everton. Well, that one was very skewed, and it was about as wide as his effort from 7 or 8 yards out just a few moments ago. Not threatening Nick Pope in the Burnley goal at all.
No, that kind of looked like me having a shot from that distance. I thought it was going to clear the stand there. Bit speculative, but hey, look, confidence is high, why not?
Live football continues back end of the week. We've got Newcastle against Leeds. It's an 8 o'clock kickoff on Friday night. You can listen to that here on 5 Live. On Saturday, our pick of the 3 o'clock games sees Burnley in action once again. Will be a Turf Moor for Burnley against Arsenal. Ian Dennis will be round the grounds. And then on Sunday, it's a 4:30 start. It's a big game on Sunday. Tottenham host Chelsea. You can hear it here on 5 Live from the BBC. Wood back to Brownhill, midway inside the Everton half. McNeil cutting in off that left wing as he likes to do, guides in a decent ball but headed away inside the Everton penalty area. Townsend controls it, gives it to the feet of Richarlison. Back to Doucouré, nice passage of space for Gomes. Now Damari Gray is allowed to turn and run to the penalty area once again. Fancies the shot, drills it into Ben Mee. The defender stood tall in front of him. He thought he could squeeze it through. Brave block again by the Burnley defence. It remains 3-1 to Everton. The clock ticks on. We have 10 minutes plus the stoppages to go.
Richarlison absolutely raging there. Did you see him? He's made a really clever run straight through the middle. Damari Gray really has to play the ball in. He holds on to it too long. Look, it is a good run, but I think he just chose the wrong option at the last moment there.
Rafa Benitez is about to make a change, and we are going to see for the first time in an Everton shirt Solomon Rondon. Turns 32 later on this week. Newcastle fans voted him their player of the year in 2019. He left to the end of that season to go to China with Rafa Benitez. Here he is, back in English football. He is a player the coach knows well. He will come on in place of Richarlison, who's had a bit of a thankless task tonight. He's had to chase down lost causes. He's tried to fill in the void left by Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and he will get a standing ovation as he leaves the pitch. And a welcome to Goodison Park and a debut for Solomon Rondon.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Rondon play here. I think he's got a lot of attributes to help Everton move forward, but just watching Richarlison there, he is not happy one bit to get taken off. He's even threw his toys out the pram there, wouldn't even talk to the manager, but well, it just shows you what he's all about. He's desperate to win, he's desperate to stay on the pitch for his team.
Rondon has come on, has scored 3 goals against Burnley in the past. They all came when he was a West Bromwich Albion player. Yerry Mina with his knee ensures that Matty Vidra can't get a touch. Everton leading 3-1 here. 5 Live and BBC Sounds. 9 minutes plus the stoppages to go. No change in formation with that substitution. Rondon will play that target man role through the middle. Westwood onto Lennon for Burnley. Good work by Damari Gray to get it back again. He's had a very good game, Gray. As Westwood regains the ball again inside the centre circle for Burnley. Wood has to be strong under pressure from Allen. Forced backwards, but Burnley do hold on to possession. Brownhill back to Tarkowski. Tarkowski won't believe his team has conceded 3 today. I mean, he's defended so well.
They have. Look, it was a crazy 10-15 minutes. Over most of the game, they've defended really well. They've put their bodies on the line, and it was kind of like deers in the headlights. It was just, it could have been more. It could have been a couple more.
So this is, as it stands, going to be 1 point from their opening 4 games for Burnley as Vidra chases the ball down the left wing and allows it out because he saw it take a deflection, and he knows that will be a corner to Burnley. They also had a slow start last season. They only took 1 point from the opening 4 Premier League games as well. They didn't win in the league until their 8th game last season, Burnley. I'm sure Sean Dyche, having gone through that last year, would have been thinking, come on, let's have a good start to the season. Let's get up, healthily mid-table, top half in the early weeks of the campaign. But for now, Burnley looks set to stay in the bottom 3 of the formative table tonight, unless there's a late twist in the tail here. 7.5 minutes of normal time to go. Corner played in by Westwood. Tame shot by McNeil on the edge of the area, and very comfortably saved by Pickford.
Rondon doing well there. Defensive duties, heading the ball out the box. Well done. That's what he's on for as well, to help out in that defensive unit.
Rondon, who is looking for a goal in his Everton debut. Clearance by Pickford, high up towards the man from Venezuela, who's beaten to it by Ben Mee, and that goes out for an Everton throw. Ben Mee, whose goal earlier on tonight had put Burnley 1-0 in front before Everton really went through the gears and stepped up the quality to a whole new level in the game. I mean, there was a spell in this game where Everton were playing Champions League football. I mean, world-class football.
Yeah, they were brilliant. Second half, they were excellent. And it's all to do with the formation. They just didn't look at ease for me in the first half with playing at the 5. I think as soon as they changed, you've seen the better players come to the 4.
Andre Gomes miscontrols, but then wins it back again. And this is the problem Burnley have at the moment. Gomes sends it in front of Digne. Bit of grass to run into on the left wing. Loughton comes out to try and close down that space. Doucouré is available for Digne. Good work by Lennon. Gets a touch. And Burnley do regain possession. Westwood to Aaron Lennon. Cuts back in and rolls it back to Tarkowski. The clock ticks on. 6 minutes of normal time to go. Everton with the 2-goal cushion. Taylor up to the halfway line to Dwight McNeil on his 100th Premier League appearance. Townsend working hard in front of him. And now Brownhill gives it short to Westwood, but Burnley are still inside their own half. Burnley have got 2 league games in a row after this. They're two home games in a row. They host Arsenal in the Premier League, then they've got Rochdale in the League Cup. Burnley, who beat Newcastle on penalties in the last round of that competition. Long ball forward by Westwood, comfortably headed away by Michael Keane. Alan Hutton.
Yeah, I mean, I've been in this situation myself. Aston Villa, when you're down at the bottom, you're searching for that first 3 points. It can be mentally tough. I mean, obviously we know Sean Dyche will keep his team going and keep them up for it, but when you play this well and you still get beat 3-1, it can be difficult to take.
Well, without their top scorer, their top forward, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Everton have still got the goals tonight, and that will give good reassurance to Rafa Benitez. Ben Mee goes long and searching, but it's all got a bit desperate now from Burnley. They lack the assuredness that they had earlier on in the match. They're just returning possession to Everton here. And it's going to be a final throw of the dice, though. Jay Rodriguez, the striker, is going to come on for the closing minutes. He's only got 5 minutes plus the stoppages to go. Doucouré forward for Everton, blocked out by Loughton, throw in to the hosts.
Yeah, I mean, Burnley might as well go for it now. If they can get a quick goal, you never know what could happen. So they're down 3-1. They have to throw everything at it in the last 5-6 minutes.
These sides, who are due to meet again on Boxing Day, will have a much better idea by then how their respective seasons are panning out. But as things stand, Everton are about to go joint top of the early Premier League table, up to 10 points, which is the tally that Manchester United, Chelsea and Liverpool have so far. All those teams with 3 wins and 1 draw so far, no defeats for any of them. And Burnley are going to find themselves with just 1 point to show from their 4 games and in the relegation zone. When they meet again by Boxing Day, it'll be very interesting to see how much has changed. Chris Wood leaves the field looking disgruntled. It's not been his night. He's worked hard, and he's been replaced by Jay Rodriguez.
Yeah, he's done well up there. I mean, sometimes it can be a thankful task, having to run channels, hold the ball up, put yourself about. So he's done that really well. He's caused problems, and that's his night over.
Vidra and Rodriguez now the front 2. Barnes and Wood having departed. Jay Rodriguez, who scored against Everton back in his West Bromwich Albion days. Another with a connection at the Hawthorns. The ball is slow to come back from the crowd here. Burnley waiting to take the throw. Referee's asking, I thought he was asking for a new ball there. He's not. He's saying Everton can make a change. So Alex Iwobi's going to get a very late cameo here, the former Arsenal man. Tamari Gray is the player who'll depart and it's a standing ovation. Boy, do they like the look of him. 3 Premier League games in a row now he has scored. The former Leicester player, the signing from Leverkusen, has settled in so well here at Goodison.
He's been excellent. He's really hit the ground running. And look, the fans love him. Standing ovation and thoroughly deserved. Everything that Everton have done has been good tonight. Has mainly came through him. So he can be really happy with his night's work. And like I spoke to you before, I mean, probably a few eyebrows raised when he first came for 1.7 million, but what a buy. Brilliant.
So Alex Iwobi is on for the closing stages here. We'll be talking golf from 10 o'clock on 5 Live ahead of the Ryder Cup, and Padraig Harrington having made his picks. Westwood gives the ball to Loughton, but I think Burnley realise here, and have done for some time, that their goose is cooked now. 3-1 down. The goals all came in a very quick flurry in this second period. This is a game that was 0-0 at half-time. Burnley took the lead early in the second half, but since then it's been all Everton, and they have turned the tide and might even have scored more than the 3 that they have on the scoreboard at the moment. That's really good work by Vydra to get away from Mina, but Allen is lurking in behind to make sure that Vydra can't get back into the penalty area.
Excellent play from Vydra there. He just uses that low centre of gravity to just swing round Mina, who's obviously a lot taller than him, and gets the throw-in out of it.
Well, you know, there was a few guys who could have been legacies of the Ancelotti era at Everton. Obviously, they had Moise Keane with the Italian connection. They had James Rodriguez, who's, you know, still at the club and very associated with Ancelotti. But I just wonder if Alan will be the legacy from that Ancelotti spell. That, you know, he looks such a good player. I can't imagine there are many Premier League teams that Alan wouldn't get in the side.
No, he's a fantastic player. Look, you can see him organising. Look, there's 5 minutes to go, and he's ushering all the players round about, telling them where to be. He's got a wealth of experience, and that's what he's using at the moment. I think he's been a fantastic buy, and hopefully he stays for a long time, because he's one of the top players for Everton.
Getting to see another replay of that Townsend goal. I mean, if he had tried that 100 times, he would not have done it any better. It just rolled along the inside of the net as it went in, right in the very top corner and dipping into the top corner. I mean, unsavable. Here's Jay Rodriguez down the other end. We're in the final minute of the 90. Burnley keep plugging away because that's their mentality. They never give up regardless of circumstance, but 3-1 down here, about to slip into stoppage time. This is surely going to be 3 points for Everton. Charlie Taylor comes in the attack down the left hand side for Burnley, tries to cut in on Coleman. Coleman puts it out for a corner. Townsend applauds that, and it will be a corner to Burnley, which Westwood is going to sprint out to take on the left-hand side. Everton 3, Burnley 1, and we will very shortly see what's going to be added on for stoppages here. And my guess is 4 minutes. Here comes the delivery. Pickford, one hand, punches it away, and it is 4 minutes. It's to face the board as it comes up down below us. Andre Gomes, edge of the penalty area. Short to Doucouré, midway inside the Everton half. It has been good game management from Everton in the second half. They have had to ride the storm on occasion tonight. They've had to come from 1-0 down. But the enthusiasm from Everton fans for this new Rafa Benitez reign will only have grown in confidence tonight. Here's the other new man, Rondon, down by the byline on the right-hand side. Coleman wants him to stay out there, points and waits until he does do so, and then gives the ball to the Venezuelan again. This is Andre Gomes. This is all edge of the Burnley penalty area on the right-hand side. Townsend comes inside a tired-looking Taylor, tries to cut back, and he actually stood on the ball, but he did well, Townsend. He didn't lose it, and the Everton fans like that, and their team still has possession. Gomes, they're toying with Burnley now. They are dangling a ball of wool over a kitten here, and Burnley don't like that, but Everton absolutely loving life at the moment.
It's excellent play from Everton. They're just running down the clock. They're keeping possession, and real good possession. Now they're getting out, they're making spaces.
Fans are cheering every pass. Rondon to Doucouré to Townsend, a side of goal, flashes it across. Iwobi's at the back post, one defender in front of him, back into the middle. Oh, it's almost too congested. They tried to score the perfect goal there, Everton. They very nearly did. They are really enjoying themselves out there.
If that had went in, that would have been the best goal I had seen in a while. There must have been about 50 passes there, working it from side to side and then going forward. Really unlucky. Brilliant play.
As using good passes as well.
Yeah, it wasn't like it was just a nothing pass, just 5 yards. It was actually, they were making a difference. They were moving forward with the ball, and it ended up with an opportunity.
Rafa's reign at Everton is going to be very interesting indeed. If there were any doubters, these opening 4 games of the Premier League season will surely have swayed opinion. Doucouré on the halfway line, well into the period of stoppages now. Burnley have hard work to do, as they would have expected, of course, as they do coming into any season. The resources they have compared to so many of the other clubs are limited, and yet they always manage to fight above their weight. There's a shot from distance from McNeil, comfortably into the chest of the England goalkeeper Jordan Pickford.
Yeah, I don't think he was ever really going to trouble Pickford from that range. It was a good run from McNeil. He's probably been